Entering the 2021 to 2022 NBA season, the top three selections in the draft, namely Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Evan Mobley, all lived up to the high expectations towards them, as evidenced by their all-rookie first-team selections. But few people had actually anticipated that at the end of the day, it was the Toronto Raptors' fourth overall pick, Scottie Barnes, who was gonna win the Rookie of the Year award, as across 74 games, Barnes averaged more than 15 points, almost 8 rebounds, almost 4 assists, and 1.1 steals per game on 55.2% true shooting, which are all really solid numbers for a 20-year-old rookie. Well, the counting numbers are really impressive, but so is the versatility that he displayed with his game, as among all rookies, Barnes placed number 1 in total minutes played, number 2 overall in total rebounds and steals, 3rd overall in total points, and 4th overall in total assists. But most importantly, Scottie Barnes has already emerged as a core piece of an upstart 48-win Toronto Raptors team that entered the playoffs as the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. And in his first playoff game against the 76ers, Barnes actually looked phenomenal as he put up a 15-point, 10 rebound, and 8 assist stat line before an unfortunate ankle injury compromised him for the rest of the Raptors' first-round series. Well, for sure, entering his sophomore year, Barnes carries with him a ton of promise from a stellar rookie season that he will use to continue growing towards becoming a future NBA superstar. But things get trickier when you actually realize that the rate of Scottie Barnes' development also most likely determines how quick the Toronto Raptors can ascend beyond the middle tier of the Eastern Conference's pecking order. So what's good, guys? It's Real Balls here, and today we'll look into why a sophomore season breakout, especially as an offensive weapon, is actually very likely to happen for Scottie Barnes. But before we continue, if you guys happen to enjoy the video, please do hit that like button or do click that subscribe button. It only takes a second of your time, but it will be much appreciated. So let's get to it. Entering the NBA, coming out of Florida State, it was mostly the physical tools and his unreal abilities on the defensive end which made NBA scouts pay attention to Scottie Barnes' game, while at the same time, all sorts of questions revolved around his scoring ability, which is totally justifiable because when you're a team selecting in the top 5 of the draft, you want to get a potential superstar who shows promise in terms of being able to regularly put the ball in the basket. However, to the surprise of many, Scottie Barnes burst into the scene as a plus-type scorer who's also able to get buckets in ways that no one expected, as he immediately emerged as a prolific shot creator for Toronto, finishing his rookie season with a whopping 52% of his buckets being self-created, which ranks him in the 91st percentile among all forwards in the NBA in terms of self-creation. Well, what I really find fascinating about Barnes is his ability to play through contact and make shots from unorthodox angles, which I think are very rare skills to have, especially for a guy his size. When he's in single coverage and has room to attack, he actually looks like the most uniquely dynamic driver in the sense that he utilizes a lot of change of direction type of movements when attacking his defender, while still having the ability to orient his body towards the rim despite facing all sorts of contact. Here, going one-on-one against Sabonis, notice the quick hesitation, crossover dribble, and all that ground he covers before he goes strong to the rim, using his size and length to overpower his defender. Then here, watch Barnes attack Derrick Rose off the dribble. Despite getting bumped, you see him continuing to exploit the mismatch as he just quickly turns around to finish the tough one-handed shot. Overall, given the difficulty of these types of shots that he's creating, I think it's amazing how Barnes actually shot 71% at the rim as a rookie, which ranks him in the 65th percentile among all 71 players to average at least 4 shot attempts at the rim per game last season. But what does Scottie do when he isn't able to get all the way to the rim? Well, the good thing is, when he gets stonewalled by lengthy defenders, Barnes is also able to use his great balance and nice touch in order to shoot a variety of floaters or fadeaway jumpers from the short mid-range. Here, watch Barnes attack a lengthy defender in Kevin Durant. You can see how he momentarily puts himself in a post-up position before he settles for the nice turnaround fadeaway jumper. Here, you see Barnes again forcing his way into the mid-post. He doesn't get a driving lane, but watch him with a quick drop step before hitting the 10-foot fadeaway against the tight defense. Then here, after using the screen, Barnes backs down Kyle Anderson towards the paint. He stops to square his body up towards the basket, using his soft touch to drain the contested one-hander. Well, I think the way Barnes counters defenders with those short mid-range shots are just really impressive. He's pirouetting in the air in some of these finishes, and he's still finding his center, and he seems to be always unbalanced even in the most ridiculous angles, which is why defenders are often caught flat-footed whenever he rises up. Watching him shoot those, it's no wonder that as a rookie, the highest frequency of Scottie's shot attempts came from within 3 to 10 feet of the basket or the short mid-range, and it's a really good sign that he already shot more than 50% from that area. The next challenge for Scottie though will be to extend his self-creation a little bit further from beyond 16 feet or even from the 3-point line, and although there was a very small sample size for him as a long-range creator during his rookie year, as he only attempted less than 1 pull-up 3 per game, he's definitely already shown some flashes of potential 3-level self-creation ability. Here, upon receiving the pass from VanVleet, you can see Barnes trying to attack the closeout, then watch the seamless transfer from his handle into a nice step-back 3-pointer. Again here, watch how Barnes torches his defender. You see him leveraging his dribble package to be able to set up the nice 18-foot fadeaway shot. As Scottie's handle and jumper further improve and as he gets even stronger, the way he thrives in isolation should get much better as well. But as a rookie, it's really encouraging that Barnes already registered a pretty solid 11.5 isolation frequency, which already ranked in the 78th percentile in the NBA regardless of position. Right now though, it's quite evident that Scottie's primary means of self-creation is still by backing down defenders and working his way towards favorable spots inside the paint. But in the future, once Barnes becomes the Raptors' primary initiator, I think it's expected that he would be asked to initiate offense right from the point of attack while utilizing other face-up scoring avenues a huge chunk of the time. So next season, I think it would be ideal for Barnes to get more reps as a pick-and-roll ball handler, cause obviously asking Barnes to create with the help of ball screens gives a great athlete and a creative passer but with a somewhat limited handle like him more of a runway to score or to create scoring opportunities for his teammates. Last season, Scottie only ran 0.9 possessions per game as a pick-and-roll ball handler, but the 1.12 points per possession he generated out of those plays already ranked in the 94th percentile in the entire NBA, which is also easily the best rate produced by any Raptors player. So overall, asking a really good passer like Barnes to initiate more off pick-and-rolls should not only generate more catch-and-shoot opportunities for Fred VanVleet, who actually shot a really good 43% on 300 spot-up 3-point attempts last season, but it would also ensure that a good interior finisher like Pascal Siakam gets to have more chances to score as a roll man. The thing is, last season, Toronto only ranked 27th in the NBA in terms of pick-and-roll frequency, but I think an uptick in that kind of play type for the Raptors could possibly strengthen the team's offense, which mostly relied on transition scoring opportunities and second-chance points. And placing Barnes as a pick-and-roll initiator more often should not only diversify his scoring arsenal, but also raise the Raptors' collective offensive ceiling. Again, Scottie had very few reps as a pick-and-roll initiator as a rookie, but he actually showed flashes of what he can do when given chances to act as a point-of-attack decision-maker, particularly when he ran fake dribble handoffs alongside Toronto's guards. Here in the half-court, watch Barnes fake a dribble handoff to Armoni Brooks. This freezes his man, enabling Barnes to use the wide-open lane to attack the rim with his size and downhill speed. Then here, watch him run another fake dribble handoff with VanVleet. This time the defense doesn't bite, but after Barnes backs his defender down in the paint, watch him attract the double team, which enables him to dish out the nice drop off to Achiuwa. Well, the future for Barnes in Toronto is definitely as the team's highest usage player who can bend defenses either from the paint or from the perimeter. But while he's not that guy yet, the good thing is Barnes also thrives as an off-ball scorer who knows how to routinely venture into open spots in the lane to get easy buckets for himself. Further, the relevance of Barnes' off-ball scoring ability actually ballooned throughout his rookie year as the synergy between him and Pascal Siakam blossomed, as Barnes has constantly learned how to function alongside Toronto's highest usage player by way of high-low actions and feeds out of drives to the rim. And the numbers actually back this up, as before the All-Star break, Barnes only received a total of 17 passes from Siakam while shooting 37% from those passes, but after the All-Star break, he received 29 total passes from Siakam while also shooting a much improved 50.5% from those passes. Overall, these upticks in his off-ball proficiency also display why Barnes has also improved both his scoring average and true shooting percentage when comparing his pre- and post-All-Star break numbers. Next season, I totally expect the chemistry between Barnes and Siakam to further grow, which should only further boost Scottie's efficiency. Well, sure, we haven't even talked about how Scottie Barnes is already one of the most relentless transition scorers and playmakers out there yet, and how he's also already one of the league's most tremendous offensive rebounders, who averaged the second most offensive rebounds out of all non-centers last season. And of course, there's the all-defensive team flashes written all over him as well. But definitely, I think it's how Scottie Barnes would thrive as a half-court offensive initiator that would ultimately dictate his ceiling. For sure, he doesn't create shots at the level of his all-star teammates yet, which is why the team hasn't overhauled their system towards him at this point, but without a doubt, the shot creation leap that Barnes has had between college and the NBA is already fascinating. We don't know how good he'll become, but one thing is for sure, and that is, Barnes is the swing piece for the Toronto Raptors, and the quicker he hits stardom, the more time he will have to intersect with the primes of Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet, which means the sooner the Toronto Raptors championship aspirations can once again be realized. So what do you guys think? Is Scottie Barnes really going to become a superstar for the Toronto Raptors? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Rero Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.